Welcome back to another episode of Bird's Eye View. Today we have with us MJ Blakely. Thanks so much for joining us.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm Alex C. with Bird Law Group. If you just want to give the listeners a little introduction to yourself, kind of what you do. Spoiler alert, he's a lawyer, like all of our guests.
My name is MJ Blakely. I'm founder of the Blakely firm over in Decatur, Georgia. We handle catastrophic personal injury, wrongful death cases, and complex litigation, like mass tort and class actions.
And so before we dive into the deep stuff, I wanted to do just a couple of 10 questions I've got to get to know you, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, ready? Coffee or tea to start your day?
It's got to be coffee.
Yeah.
You know, every single time I take it black. For me, tea is a sweet drink that's got ice in it in the afternoon.
Right. Lunch, afternoon. Yeah. Always had it at my grandmother's house. Your go-to hype song before court or a big deposition?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm kind of a big nerd, so rather than listening to a hype song on the way to court or deposition, I'm probably listening to a book or a podcast.
Okay. All right. No, that's okay. So
I'll
then,
be sure that this one's in the rotation.
Yeah. So yes, please do. But what book or podcast have you listened to most recently?
On the way over here, I was listening to Nexus by Earl Navari.
Okay.
It's about the history of information. I told you.
Okay. All right. No, I like it. I mean, it's a totally different thing. And I said this was going to be rapid fire, but this is interesting to me. So I'm pausing on this rapid fire because typically you'll hear me like driving to court with some kind of just obnoxious song on, just trying to zone out. But that's another way to zone out. I like it.
Maybe I need to give an obnoxious song a try.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty good. It might help me.
I don't know. It might hype me up too much sometimes. I need to bring myself back down, honestly. Dream vacation spot.
You know, what I've found here recently about vacation spots is it matters less where you are and more about who you're with. Last week, I was on spring break with my family in Whistler, and it was gorgeous, but it was also just so nice to get away and be with my family. So wherever they are, that's where I dream to be.
I love that answer. Because it just really, especially with what we do, it's so serious. It's so heavy. It takes us away physically, mentally, emotionally, right? Our cases take so much that when we get time to have a vacation, having it be with the people that mean the most. Yeah, absolutely. Favorite law-themed TV show, even if it's wildly inaccurate, okay? Because a lot of them are.
Yeah, a long time ago, I used to watch Boston Legal.
Okay.
Remember that show?
I started rewatching it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I like that. You know, oftentimes I don't watch these legal shows. It's like I do enough legal show at work every day if I don't want to come home and watch legal again.
Yeah.
But Boston Legal was fun.
I thought so too. Bill Bird used to quote Boston Legal all the time.
Yeah, it's a good show.
There were Denny Crane moments constantly.
That's right.
The best thing about being a girl dad.
You know, I remember when we found out that we were having a little baby girl. You know, some people want to wait till the baby's born. They say they want to be surprised.
Oh, I can't handle that.
So I'll be surprised when the rad tech tells me.
Yes, that surprise
what
can
kind of
happen
parts
then.
are in there, right?
Yes.
And, you know, I had all these ideas about what it's going to be like to be a girl dad. I was so happy we were having a baby girl. The baby girl gets here, and I realized that she's just a person, you know? And I didn't want to, you know, create this idea that she had to be treated any differently because she was a girl. I had to treat her as the person that she was.
Right.
Because that's who we're raising.
Right.
So she has taught me so much, and not because she's a girl, but because she's mine.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I think my daughter, I'll speak for my husband a little bit. I think she's probably taught him that it is really hard to say no. He jokes about that all the time. He's like, she owns this place. She rules this nest. I don't know if you've had any of those kind of like girl dad interactions, but she finds a new way to steal our hearts every single day.
All the time. And, you know, I think what my kids find is that Dad, he doesn't ever say no to the little things. Okay? So if it's a little thing, ask him, if you want extra ice cream, Dad is going to say yes.
That's in my house too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the big things.
Yeah.
Right? That's when they have to go ask their mom.
Right.
I don't know. What's your mom say?
Yeah. And that just recently started happening in my house. My daughter is 3.5. And I heard her for the first time the other day come and ask me something. I told her, give her one answer. And then I heard her run in the living room and ask her dad. And that moment I was like, what's he going to do? Is he going to ask her if she's already asked me or not? And he goes, I just heard you talk to your mom about that. And she already gave you an answer.
At our house, we call that Dommy. Dad and mommy. It's the same thing.
It's unified.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wait till they get a little older. My kids are 12 and 13.
Oof.
And they know the drill. So they'll come in and they'll say, we've talked to mom and she says this. So.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. We got to prepare them for Dommy. So who is winning if you have a Blakely family cook-off?
I'm trying to get me in trouble. I love my wife's cooking. And she is really, really good at it. But she doesn't like to do it as much as I like to do it.
Okay.
I love to cook for my family. And it's part of how we grew up. Meals and preparing them were a big deal. My mom would always say when she said grace, bless the food and the hands that prepared it. And I like having those hands. So I tend to spend a little bit more time in the kitchen. I think our job as lawyers, in a lot of ways, it's very esoteric. It's hard to build anything tangible. It's thoughts, theories, ideas, paperwork get pushed back and forth. But if I can come home in the evening and bring out the tools and make something that a person can use and enjoy, it's very satisfying for me. So if we're having a Blakely family cook-off, what I can tell you is I'm going to enjoy doing it perhaps the most in my family. Fair enough.
That was a very good answer. I know I'm not supposed to rate them, but man,
Thank you.
Yeah, if I am about to go into trial or something stressful is going on, you'll come into my house and probably find just a spread of baked goods, because I'm the same way. When I need something that I can just follow some regimented directions and have a tangible result.
Oh, yeah.
I think it helps. One word that your team would use to describe your leadership style.
I thought about this. So I figured this question was coming. And I think it would have to be empowering. I like to empower my team, because if you can put a group of folks around you that you can trust and you can empower, then they can begin to help you grow. Right. So I want to empower my team to help me and to help those around.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
You got it.
Absolutely. Sneakers or dress shoes, if you had to choose one forever?
Dress shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And look, sneakers are more comfortable.
Absolutely.
The older I get, the more I need to wear them.
Yeah.
And you get to play in them and have more fun. But man, it sure is good to look good. Shoes look good. I
saw a social media video of yours. I think it was about the importance of dressing for success and how that was instilled in you. Am I?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I remember that. I remember that when I was in school and it would be test day, I would dress up a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because dressing neat makes you feel smart.
It makes you feel better.
If you feel smart, you do better on the test.
If you get put together for court and you feel good about yourself, I think you probably do better, right?
I think so. Plus, I don't think I'd be able to wear the sneakers in the court.
No, you would not.
And I like doing this, so if I had to wear just one, it would have to be the dress shoes.
I guess that means I would have to choose heels. Man, if you weren't a lawyer, what would you be doing?
I think I might be a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any age group or?
Not necessarily. Between college and law school, I took a year off.
Okay.
And for part of that time, I was a substitute teacher. I was in elementary school. I was in the old high school. And I saw that sacrifice that those teachers were making to educate the next generation of people. And it was very inspiring. And so, I don't know, I think maybe that's what I would do.
And I think one of the roles we have as lawyers is I find it very closely akin to what teachers do, right? Especially for the community, to educate people about the legal system and their rights. I feel like I don't know, maybe disagree with me, but that part of our role in the community is to have some of that sort of mentorship, education, leadership type of personality.
I can't disagree with you. And particularly as trial lawyers, right? When we show up in a courtroom, we're educating, teaching a judge about the legal nuances of a matter. When we stand in front of a jury, one thing we're doing is we're advocating for our clients, but we're also trying to educate the jury about our client's position, what happened to them,
right,
what they need to do to help the parties find justice. So maybe we're already teachers in some sense.
Yeah, maybe so. I think we actually have a teacher in common, Kelly Casey.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my very favorites.
She's one of my favorite people. In a lot of ways, I think she helped shape me into the lawyer that I became.
I got to tell you, I think I'm going to see Kelly Casey tonight.
Really?
Yeah, at the Clark Carley Inn of Court meeting.
Oh, she comes down with the students, right?
She does, yes. And I remember getting to law school and feeling just a tad overwhelmed, right? There were all these really brilliant people around. And I was just hoping that I was one of them.
Right.
And, I was hoping that there would be something there I was good at. And Kelly found me and she invited me to participate in the oral advocacy competitions. And I realized when I was able to do that, I have something that I can do and that I'm good at. And Kelly helped to develop that in me, prove that to me, and I'll be forever grateful to her for that.
Me too. She is something special. She really is.
Sure is.
And I'll tell you, in my class, your name continued to come up.
Oh, no.
She's like, if you guys don't know, and let me just tell you how MJ did it. So you left a legacy behind in oral advocacy at UGA. I'll tell you that.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it did help make the hard part of law school more bearable, to be able to do that stuff and be able to do it with somebody like Kelly. Okay, UGA football game day essential.
Well, when you have a haircut like mine, it's essential that you have a hat.
Okay, all right, a hat. What motivated you to establish your own firm? Getting into some of the more serious stuff now.
I was just called to do it.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I looked around at the law firm that I was at, and I really looked up to the people who founded that law firm. They took a risk doing that, and they developed a legacy with that. And I thought to myself, I want to be like them. And looked at, my family and friends, folks like you, and saw that, hey, this is our time now to create the next generation of trial lawyer firms. And if we don't step into the gap and show up, then we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to our communities. And I couldn't abide that. So the Blakely firm had to happen.
And how long ago was that? How long's the Blakely firm been?
Just a little over 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we're still very new and having a great time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I recently, full disclosure, one of the big reasons I wanted to have you on was I was at the Lessons Not Losses CLE that GTLE did. And you spoke, right? And just hearing you speak about some of the more difficult things we deal with as lawyers, right? Bar complaints, issues with clients, some of the non-sexy stuff that we're not posting on our social media.
Right.
It felt so real. Yeah. It felt real and relatable. And, one of the themes on some of the episodes we've had recently has been how important professionalism is in our practice. And, some of the ways that maybe we as lawyers can help police our profession and try to help foster a sense of professionalism and honesty. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, one thing I think we have to keep in mind is that grace is really important. We have a very hard job. And it can be easy to forget that it's difficult. Because when you look around, everybody else is doing this job. They're showing up to the same place you are in the morning and leaving home from the same place you are. And it can begin to normalize what we do. But what we do is especially hard. There are very few professions, except for maybe like professional warfare or politics. Right. We can maybe be in a professional athlete where you do the kind of thing that we do, where you're in an adversarial environment every day. They say it's not brain surgery. and it's not. But the brain surgeon doesn't have to worry about another brain surgeon stepping into the surgical field and trying to swat the scalpel out of their hand during the procedure. But what we do, like, there is another lawyer when you wake up on the other side of town who is also waking up and whose sole objective it is to frustrate every effort you intend to make, because that's what their client needs.
Right.
And that makes this job very difficult. And we have to bear in mind that other lawyers, just like us, need our grace, they need our compassion, and they need our help. And particularly when you get to the stage in the career that you and I are in. We have our mentors, but we also have the people that we need to mentor and we need to help, because we have a responsibility for that too. And in that middle, it can sometimes feel difficult to find the person that's there to help you. And you know who that is? It's each other.
It's your colleagues.
Be there for one another.
Yeah. And so what advice would you have for, let's start with, I guess, our contemporaries that feel that they are just stuck in this adversarial loop, right? And it's hard to find the ability to give anybody that grace. Any advice you have for folks like that?
When you mentioned that, I was thinking about my kids. They're in middle school now. Oh, what a tough time for youngsters. It's awkward. People are wondering, like, who's popular.
I remember that in middle school.
Popular.
Right.
And I had read something, probably in one of the books I was listening to while I was driving to court or something like that. And it was saying that the studies show that some of the most popular kids, the most well-adjusted ones, are the ones that are just nice to everybody, And that struck me because I realized that, as difficult though it may be to give folks grace in an adversarial setting where you may not be getting that same type of grace from others.
Right.
People are making things difficult for you. There's still an opportunity to just be nice, to have kind words, to check on people. I'll do that with defense counsel from time to time. I'll pick up the phone and I'll call. I said, don't need anything. Just want to check in, see how you're doing,
Okay.
And, if you need anything, you'll be surprised how many times the answer is yes. Actually, I've been meaning to reach out to you, but I haven't been able to because I've got this going on, this going on, this going on. And you say, hey, me too. I've got a lot going on also.
Right. What
can we do to help? And that helps to foster friendlier, more professional relationships. It's not easy to do. So the advice I would give is, like I said before, this is a difficult job, but that's what we've signed up for. We have to do some of the hard things sometimes. So be nice to people, check in on people. Folks are having a hard time, just like you are, and they're having a good time, just like you are.
Right.
When people are having difficult times, we show up and we help out. And when they're having good times, we show up and we celebrate with them.
I really like that. I don't know that I've ever I'm friends with some defense counsel, so we talk right outside of litigation or outside of the cases, but I can't think of a time I've just picked up the phone and be like, hey, just want to check in.
I got a notice of leave from a defense lawyer once. And in the notice of leave, the defense lawyer said, I've got to take these 2 weeks off because I'm getting married and going on my honeymoon. And I picked up the phone and I called him. And I said, hey, I got your notice of leave. He was concerned that I was going to object to it.
Oh my goodness,
so
right.
I just wanted to call and congratulate you on getting married. That's awesome. And, give me your address. I want to send you a note.
Yeah.
That defense lawyer is now a plaintiff's lawyer. And he'll still tell people from time to time, man, I can't believe somebody just called to check in.
Right.
It's an okay thing to do, even though we're adversaries.
It is okay to be nice, and you can be nice and still advocate for your client.
Absolutely.
I think that's a really good piece of advice for folks to take away, because I know I'm personally guilty of getting so entrenched in being an advocate that it's easy to forget that you can still be nice about it.
Well, part of the reason that we do this, and that a person needs to hire a lawyer to be their advocate, is because we have, of course, the legal acumen and skill to navigate the legal system. But it's also because we have some objectivity.
Right.
This is our client's case, not our case. And that objectivity brings clarity, judgment, and it can, because we're advocates, we can get to the point where we begin to lose that objectivity a little bit and become entrenched. And so we just constantly remind ourselves that, hey, this is the case. And these are the people that are involved. And those are different things sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sitting here reflecting on it as you're saying it. That's how impactful it is, that what we're talking about. And, I think everybody's dealt with that case where you have the defense counsel that you just butt heads with. And it happens. And they probably feel the same way about me. They're like, well, I just got to butt heads with Alex over this again. But man, how great, maybe aspirational, but how great would it be if more of us could just be like, hey, checking in, how you're doing? You got a job to do, just like I do. We can follow the rules and navigate this and advocate for our clients without taking it to that step where it gets personal.
Last week, I got this email from defense counsel about scheduling the deposition of an expert. Now, this expert lives in Chicago and lives in Florida. And the defense lawyer says, well, I prefer to take the deposition in Florida, so let me know when the expert's going to be available in Florida. So I responded and I said, and I actually prefer to take the deposition in Tahiti.
You do, but it would be.
But that's just not how this works.
Right.
We take the deposition where the person's going to be when the people are available.
Right.
And we'll provide you with those dates. Also, how about this? How about you come in a day early and the two of us go to dinner? And the defense lawyer wrote me back and said, I'm not sure whether you're being, serious or, trying to be funny about that. I said, no, I'm being dead serious. Turns out the expert's going to be available in Chicago. Fact was, I was hoping for Florida too.
All right.
But
you're like, no secrets. So, Florida's nice.
Florida's nice. But, here are a few good steakhouses in Chicago. Let's pick one and go. And now we're headed to dinner in a few weeks. And, who knows what may come of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. Taking it outside of the case and having a chance to have a conversation. There are people too, right? And I've gone to coffee with an insurance adjuster and settled a case before. And in the moment, it felt like I'm sitting down for coffee with the enemy, with the other side, Yeah. But yeah, going out on a limb, I think it can make a big difference for us personally, because things get less contentious that way.
Right.
And then for our clients. Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we do every episode is ask our guest I ask the guest if there is something or someone that they would like to give the bird to.
Pollen. Yes.
Absolutely.
Pollen is for the birds. Or maybe it's for the bees. I don't know.
The birds, the bees, not me.
It's not for me.
Not for me.
I've had enough of it. And I'll admit, it is getting a little better here the last several days. But, it just tears me up.
Same. And I drive a black car. So I feel like it's just, I walk outside and my car's covered in it. Doesn't matter how many times I wash it. You breathe it in and it's annoying. Yeah, I'm going to join in that. I'm joining in that. Is there anybody out there that likes pollen?
Give pollen the bird.
Yeah, maybe I would like to go to dinner or coffee with you and discuss pollen if you like it. But, I don't think there's going to be anybody out there that says that. Well, thanks so much for being on today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
I just, I really enjoyed talking about the professionalism thing, and getting along with opposing counsel has been a big issue for me lately, and just trying to think about a way to make, what we do just a little bit easier, because it's already hard enough in its own right.
It is. It's a hard job.
It is.
And we need to, one way that we can make things a little easier is just to remember that because it's a hard job, we need grace, and so do the people on the other side of the big.
I'm taking that with me. Grace giving and hopefully grace receiving. Hopefully. Like, subscribe, follow all the social media stuff I'm supposed to say, and we'll see you on the next episode of Bird's Eye View.